Shalom.
Alright, so we back again. Out another week, hitting the highways and hedges, bringing forth the true doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, bidding the elect of the Israelite nation back to reality, you know. But before we get going, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Wahakadash Ka. All right, as always, double honors to all the hopefully elect elders out there who rule well, and to all you hopefully elect men out hitting the highways and hedges diligently, you know, bringing forth the doctrine, the true doctrine, and likewise to all the rest of the 1/3 out there, all the true believers of the Israelite nations. So the title is learn, realize, and remember. You know, and don't forget, which is the most important part. Don't forget.
I wouldn't know. Remember,
learn, realize, and don't forget. So like it. If you can, get off Isaiah 46:8.
Isaiah 46:8. It says, "Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors."
Yeah, so this word is what we ought to be remembering. You know, this is what we got to bring back to mind, the reality, the fact of reality, the situation that we're in. You know, us being the Israelites, the true Israelites, God's chosen people, according to the scriptures, but, have been, we've fallen away from our power source and knowing who we are. Thus our people walking around believing that they're so-called black people, so-called Latino people, and so-called Native American and Seminole Indian people that are scattered amongst the earth. They have no idea who they are. But our whole point of coming out, bringing forth this word, is to show our people who they are, to make them remember this. And this is the most important thing to us, is understanding and knowing this doctrine, learning it, and upholding it, and walking in the ways thereof, so we can actually retake our actual identity, which we have lost over a long period of time due to being in captivity to many nations, and then ultimately us here in the majority dwelling in America, under the guise of all of these bywords, which is according to the curses that the Heavenly Father said would happen for us falling away from that power. So again, we remember this word, and this is what we are to account our lives as: truly being Israelites, truly knowing who we are, and actually fulfilling our true purpose, which is rulership. We aren't to be here under the foot of any nation. God said that Israel was a particular people, a peculiar people, that is supposed to be above all people on the face of the earth. You can get that in Deuteronomy 7:6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord Yahweh thy God. The Lord Yahweh thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth."
Yeah, and that scripture is very specific, but that's what we are to be remembering. That the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, He chose us to be a special people, a very, He gave us His laws. He gave us His laws to uphold, to be a holy people, meaning set apart. We are set apart people when we are actually in the understanding of who we are, when we know who we are, which we have to learn and remember and come back to.
Got something.
Yeah, kind.
Baruch 4:28, it says, I'm gonna start at 27. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto God, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Yeah, kind. So we supposed to be of comfort, because ultimately, you know, it was written for us to go off. It was all pretty much the Lord's will playing out. Us falling away, us going into captivity, us remembering ourselves in this very captivity, and through the comfort of the scriptures and understanding what our posterity is, which is what's coming of us in the future, our true identity being Israel. In the Hebrew, Yasha'Allah, meaning we will rule as gods, you know. He Prince Power, he the princes of the power, you know. So that's the comfort that we have when we come back to understanding and knowing, for one, who we are, and then going on forth to learn the scriptures. You can read that again unless you got something else.
This is 1 Thessalonians 4:18. It says, wherefore comfort one another with these words.
Yeah, kind. So that's how we are to comfort one another, you know, with the understanding of the words of the Bible and its true doctrine, you know, because we're not out teaching, you know, Jesus Christ. We out teaching the true names of Yahweh and the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, you know, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. These are the words of comfort to tell our people that Jesus wasn't a so-called white man. He looked like you. You know, he would be what you call today a so-called black man. But in fact,
there's no such thing as Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus is not his name. Ain't nobody named Jesus. His name Yahweh Shai. Ain't nobody named him. That was a lie.
And that's comfort, you know, because that was a complete lie.
The one that couldn't do anything for you didn't exist, which is why.
Exactly.
That's why you have nothing done for you under so-called Christianity, plantation Christianity, because the one you worshiping didn't exist. It's a man by the name of so-called Jesus Christ. This is Acts 4:12, and it reads, neither is there any salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So yeah, if you calling on the wrong one, whatever, you gotta have that name. If you calling on that wrong name for salvation and you know, get your people out of this situation, make a way, it's not gonna happen. If you look using any other name besides the name that's been given, which is Yahweh Shai, for that, it's not gonna happen for you.
Yeah, kind.
So, like I said, ain't nobody named Jesus. But yeah, Yahweh Shai is the so-called black man, the one they hid from.
Yeah, kind. And that's where you actually find comfort in the truth. The truth is what actually brings comfort. When we actually know what's going on, we could be corrected and told exactly what it is, and we actually can see this whole book actually playing out in front of us. Again, there was never a man named Jesus. His name was Yahweh Shai, and that's who we serve. That's part of the comfort right there, coming back to actually understanding that you were at one point possibly, you know, praying to a false deity, something that never existed, something that was made out of air, when it's a real being that existed, and his name was Yahweh Shai. You can give me Matthew 1:21.
This is book of Matthew 1:21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Yeah, that's important, because his name is important, because his name, you know, tells what he actually is to come to do, which is to save his people, which are the Israelites, from their sins. So he's actually coming to save us.
Yeah, which is you people. You people listening. That's other so-called black, Latino, Native American Indians that's in on this faith. That's the one that's going to save you. You can't be looking to as it says, get salvation, you know, and all that comes with salvation from any other name besides the one that's been given. So that name important. I'll get this. This is Sirach 11 and 23. It says, say not, what profit is there of my service? And what good thing shall I have hereafter? That's probably how you feel after serving Jesus. This is how most of our people feel, because that man never existed. There's no power in that name. You know, ain't nobody there. You call and nobody answers. You know, now you can call on the true name and the Lord don't hear you, or he won't hear you. He won't answer you. Because one, you gotta have a name, and then you gotta come correct. But if you've been doing this, pretty much giving your all to someone that don't exist, nothing gonna come out of that. So you need to take that same diligence and give it to the one that do exist, and his name is Yahweh. That's who's controlling all this. That's who brought these plagues upon you. To finish that off, this is Baruch 4 and 28. It says, for as it was your mind to go astray from Abba, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. So now you know the name. You're back in front of the one that exists when you come before this ministry, this council, the teachers of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. As you know, but anyway, it says, for he that brought these plagues upon you, right? It says, shall bring everlasting joy again with your salvation. So now as you have been corrected and you're getting corrected and the name is out here, now once again, as I said, take that same diligence and give it to the one that actually exists, the one that actually put these plagues upon you, you know? Which only makes sense, because if he the one who did it to you, who else can you ask for? Who else can you ask to undo it besides the one that did it? So once again, Jesus Christ, he not initially the one that did this to you. Yahweh did this to you in our people's disrespect of his son Yahweh Shah, and that resulted in what? You completely being removed from your God and getting a false deity, but you want to call on false deity. That's how the Most High deal. So you got Jesus Christ now, but that was just for a set duration of time. Now it's just a part of a punishment, a grounding. But all groundings or punishments don't last forever. You know, the Lord didn't give us life here, man. You know, we don't got a life bid, a life sentence.
Baruch 4 and 14.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 14. It says, learn where wisdom is, where is strength, where is understanding, that thou mayest know also where is length of days and life, where is the light of the eyes and peace. I'll read this next one. It says, who hath found out her place, or who hath come into her treasures?
Yeah, Khan. I don't even think that was right.
I mean, no, that's on point. You know, we read it again. This is first Baruch 4 and 13 or 14 from the top. It says, I'm gonna start at 12. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom. Who's that fountain of wisdom? The Most High. This is Jeremiah 2. Jeremiah 2 and 11. I'm gonna actually start at 13. For my people, I'm gonna actually start at 12. Be astonished. It says, you know what, I'm gonna start at 11. It says, hath a nation changed their gods? It says, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory for that which do not profit. So you went from a God that exists to one that don't exist due to our own disobedience. But once again, we return now. How? Because he's making himself known again in the earth. It says, be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. be ye very desolate, saith the Lord Yahweh, which is his name. It says, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters. Right, so that fountain of wisdom is ultimately Yahweh. It says at this point, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, it says, and hewn them out broken cisterns that could hold no water.
Yeah, kind.
So it says, Baruch 4 and 14, or back at 11, Salaki, Baruch 3, and back where I was at, verse 12, it says, thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom. It says, if thou hast walked, which is the Most High, Yahweh. It says, if thou hast walked in the way of the Most High, the Father, thou shouldest have dwelled in peace forever. Learn where wisdom is. Him. In the name Yahweh, the one that actually exists. Okay? So it says, where is strength and where is understanding? It says, where is understanding, that thou mayest know also where is the length of days and life, where is the light of the eyes and peace. It says, who hath found out her place, or who hath come into her treasures? Those that the Heavenly Father has revealed himself to, those that have the name. Period. Because with a name comes everything it stands for. Jesus don't stand for nothing, because it never existed. That person never existed. Someone named Jesus. So you praying for somebody to someone that's not there, which is going to result in vanity. Nothing coming back. You get nothing in return. An empty return. Versus going to the one that do exist through his name, having his name, right? Once again, a name comes with what it stands for, what comes with it, you know? So that's Yahweh, man. In the name of his son, Yahweh Shah. You got it?
Yeah, kind. And that's very much so what our people are missing. That's what we haven't learned. That's what everything, like in the word Jesus, the name Jesus, that's what we learned in our captivity, man. That's what we learned from our captors, from our enemies, from the so-called white man. That's what he taught us, because that's what he wanted us to that's what he wanted us to know. He never wanted us to understand this. He never wanted us to raise back up and come to an understanding of who we were. Because upon us realizing, learning who we are, and realizing that it's ultimately the downfall is coming, it's nearing closer to the downfall of what he has built up, which is his kingdom amongst the earth, which is based upon confusion.
I got something. Psalms 83 and 4, it says, I'm gonna start at 3. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Yeah, and if they being the so-called white man, well, ultimately they being chiefly the so-called white man and all these other heathen nations that are ultimately conglomerate with him, they have come together to keep us in a state that we have been in for so long, which is a lowy state, to be the Israelite people. You know, us being known as all these bywords, not knowing who we are. That's what they come together upon. Got it.
Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Yeah, kind, and they've been successful in doing so for, you know, that allotted period. They have cut us off in the majority for us knowing exactly who we are. If we see a so-called black person walk past us right now, we ask their nationality, they go say something amongst the line of maybe African-American, they black, you know, we Latino, they tell you they Mexican, so on and so forth. We Indians, but all of these things are false names to who they truly are.
See that?
Yeah.
He didn't even know. You seen it? Yeah. Little boy fell right in the middle of the street. His dad was in the middle.
He gone.
The other one was in the front. He gone. He fell off the scooter and was just sitting there in the street.
Like for real?
Yeah,
like, for real deal. Sitting on the street.
A truck that's elevated above that can't really see below could have just turned.
He really got his little ass. But yeah, and that's pretty much the care that these people really truly have. They're not really a nation. They're not really supposed to be ruling. You know, we see these so-called white people, they got everything, but they're not fit to rule. And we can see it in their everyday actions. You know, but back on, what we was just reading, ultimately, they went out their way to make sure we were cut off from being a nation, cut off from knowing who we are. You know, therefore, most of us growing up, you know, into adulthood, have no idea who we actually are.
Let me read this again.
You got it?
In verse 4 it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah, and that's very important. They wanted to cut that name off, you know, because as the elder brother had just said, with the name, you know, he was speaking about the name Yahweh, which is that fountain. And within that name, it holds so much. If you take away the name, it also takes away all that comes with the name, because the name Israel holds power. The Israelites hold power. We're the people of the Bible.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, with the name Israel, which is really Yasha'Allah right there, it comes Yahweh. So if you cut off Yasha'Allah, change that to Israel. You cut off Yahweh, change that, or Yahweh Shai, change that to Jesus. There you go.
Exactly.
So we're cutting off the name, it came with cutting off the actual names we call by, and through that, you cutting off everything that comes with us, we're known for, we stand for.
Exactly.
Right? Which is not praying to a God that can't profit, you know? So you learn that through learning about Israel. You read about the Israelites, that's constantly repeated to them, you know? You learn that when reading about who people call Israel, which is actually Yasha'Allah. They're constantly told by their power, which is the creator of heaven and earth, about all these gods that don't, you know, they to no avail.
Exactly.
You know, they don't exist. There is no other God but the Most High. Okay, matter of fact, grab that. This is Isaiah 40. Three, and I'm gonna get 10. It says, ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God born, neither shall there be after me. So he was the first and last power, man. The only true power. All powers that exist, right, is of him.
Yeah, kind.
It says, I am the Lord, and besides me there is no Savior. I have declared and have saved, right? He told Moses he exists, right? And Moses said, well, what if they, you know, you telling me to go get them, go to Israel and tell them, you know, we got to get out of here. They asked, what's your name? You know what I'm going to say? That was the first thing. And he told them, I am that I am, meaning Yahweh, right? Well, when he was speaking from his sense, because people get it twisted, that's why they say the name wrong. Talking about, he said, Ahaya. But when Moses said it, because remember, he was asking, what should I say to them your name is? He would have to say Yahweh, because his name, and really he didn't say Haya. It's really Hawa. Because if you say I am that I am, that's saying Hawa. That's what Hawa means. It means to be or exist, which is interchangeable for I am, or he is. So to say that himself is Hawa, right? And if someone had to tell somebody about the Hawa, they'd be like, in Hebrew, Yahweh or Yahweh. So that was first thing first, laying everything out. So they heard his name, and then Moses was told, like, look, I'm gonna do this. Go tell Pharaoh I'm gonna do this, and then that name, then it happened. So that's how the Lord started developing his name with us. Like he said, I have declared and have saved. You know, he was saying, I said, let my people go. Exactly. You know, etc. Okay, but anyway, so back here, Isaiah 43 and verse 12. I have declared and saved. I have shewed when there was no strange God among you. When it was a time we were so low, we didn't even have another God to worship. That's when the Lord pulled up. You know, that's how he worked. So he like, cause he don't want he don't. I'd say the Lord not the author of confusion.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, he don't want no misconceptions or for us to get it construed. But anyway, therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. You know? So there it is, man. The Lord, he the only God that exists, man. Period. You know? So yeah. Like I said, when you read about Israel, you learn that. That's the God always telling them. Like, listen, ain't no other God. Don't pray to gods that can't profit you.
Exactly.
You know? I'm the one that teach you to profit. Okay? Grab that real quick. This is Deuteronomy 8. And 18, it says, Deuteronomy 8, and I'm gonna start at I'm gonna start at 14. It says, it says, then thine heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord Yahweh thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led thee through that great and terrible wilderness, wherein fiery serpents, or fiery serpents, and scorpions, and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of the flint, who fed thee in the wilderness with manna, which thy fathers knew not, that he might humble thee, and that he might prove thee to do thee good at thy latter end. Right? He was just testing us. You know, I'm gonna give you this, see how you react, see how you deal with it, see how you respond, see if you see how I'm working. You know, you see it's clear that it ain't nobody else but me. It says, and thou sayest say in thine heart, my power, right? Because it is other powers underneath the power, but all powers that be are of the Heavenly Father, once again. And thou say in thy heart, my power and the might of mine hand have gotten me this wealth. Right? You got powerful people down here on the earth. They got a lot of money. They know a lot of people. They got a lot of resources. But all that's that's all of the Heavenly Father, because that particular individual, he gonna make certain moves that the Lord needs him to make or want him to make, that's gonna create, you know, the life that he wanted for others. Because he might be a boss. So he might go start this company where this Israelite will go work for him, you know what I'm saying, and get killed on the job. You see what I'm saying? Because he set up a business that got, you know, cranes and all other, you know, stuff like that. So that's all the power that be is of the Heavenly Father. But it says, but thou shalt remember the Lord Yahweh thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers as it is this day. And it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Lord Yahweh thy power, thy God, and walk after other gods, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish. You see? Which is these gods of these other nations. And then listen when he go on to say. It says, as the nations which the Lord Yahweh destroyed before your face. You start worshiping these gods as you see these other nations worshiping, because you think they making it, they selling it to you, they think that, you know,
yeah, look good.
Because you a sheep. He like, whole time I'm destroying them. I'm destroying whole nations. Basically, to show you what, ain't no other God. It says, as the nations which the Lord Yahweh destroys before your face, so shall ye perish, because ye will not be obedient unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh your God, which crazily is the only God that even exists. See that? So the Lord said what? Really, that's I just got that as an example to show you once again when you read about the Israelites, the power that created heaven and earth, the only power that did that, right? And that's responsible for all power, which is their power. He tells them over and over how there ain't no other gods, man.
Nope.
You know, and he the way he operates makes that clear. Okay? Because how? Even if you see other people, well, everybody got their own religions and all, well, the true religion is gonna be the one that overpowers all the other ones. You know? Not by popular consents, not by, because for instance, when you go to Elijah and the 400 prophets that was set up by who was a prophet of the Lord, Elijah, right? Yahweh, Israelite, and you go against, you know, Jezebel, who had 400 prophets of Baal, right? It was 1 against 400, and Elijah, being an Israelite, he knew the rep. He was trained up in how this thing worked in the earth. That's really how it comes down to being an Israelite. You're really trained up on how the earth works. You know, who's who, what's for what, what's proper eating, all of that, right? So Elijah was one of those. He was schooled up, and he happened to be a particular Israelite, which was being a prophet, which is someone who lets everybody else know that, because everybody don't got that ability, and they don't have that lot to do that. Now, he went against 400 other prophets that was into Baal, another god, right? And I'm using that example to show you what the popular religion isn't, which would be like a bunch of people flocking to it.
Right.
That wouldn't represent or necessarily be a religion overpowering another religion. How? Because the same religion or belief that Elijah had, which is the true one, overpowered by himself, right? Which a belief should come with a God, right? Religions come with gods. That same one that he was worshiping, which is the true one, overpowered the one that the 400 were. How? Because, matter of fact, let's get it real quick.
I'm there.
You already there?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, come on.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, just jump straight to the point. Well, you ain't gonna have to jump to the beginning. You start at
probably could touch it.
right. Goes. First Kings 17, and we're gonna start at verse. That's dealing with the woman and the bosom.
I'm at 18 and 19.
Started, yeah, kind of. We're going to start at verse 17 and 24.
This is 1 Kings, the book of 1 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 24. It says, and the woman said to Elijah, now by this I know that thou art a man of God, and that the word of the Lord in thy mouth is true.
Right. So there it is. So Elijah, off top, he had the true God. Okay. Now we're gonna jump to verse 4. You got it.
Yeah, Khan. 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 17 and 4.
No.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 and 4. It says, for it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in the cave, and fed them with bread and water.
Right.
And Ahab said unto Obadiah, go into the land, unto all fountains of water, and into all brooks, peradventure we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive, that we lose not all the beasts.
Okay, we jump to the point. It says, we start at 13. Up to 13.
Yeah, Khan, this verse 13, it says, was it not told my Lord what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord? How I did 100 men, how I hid 100 men, Salakia, of the Lord's prophets by 50 in the cave, and fed them with bread and water. And now,
Yeah, you gotta go ahead.
and now thou sayest, go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. And Elijah said, as the Lord of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, I will surely shew myself unto him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab, and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord Yahweh, and thou hast followed Baalim.
Right, go ahead.
Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel.
Right, because it's telling you what, you ain't supposed to follow no other God. You know, that's, once again, that's one of the first things the Lord established to the Israelites. You go to Exodus 20. So that's why he referred back to the commandments, because that's principle. You learn, you got to make that clear. If you serving me, the way this work, I'm the true God. So let me just tell you off top, ain't no other God. And I prove it to you how I work. Okay, so to be an Israelite is to understand that, you know, and it's ultimately for you to profit. Which, oh, that's what I was meaning to get. I got the wrong one. This is Isaiah. This is Isaiah 45. This is what I was meaning to get. And 17. I'm gonna start. Yeah, it says. I'm gonna start at 16. They shall be confounded. And also, so like all of them, they shall go to confusion that are makers. So I'm gonna just jump to the point, then I'll come back to this. This is verse 9. It says, start at 18. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh that created the heavens, God himself, the power himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it, not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. It says, I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else. He says, I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not to the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. Right, for nothing. So you get some in return from the Heavenly Father. It says, he says, I, the Lord Yahweh, speak righteousness. I declare things that are right. And get what I'm actually looking for. Matter of fact, just continue on that. I bring you to bring it out afterwards.
Yeah, Khan, 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 18. And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou, thy father's house, and that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord Yahweh, and that thou hast followed Baalim.
Right,
now,
what you weren't supposed to do, as he said. But you got it.
Khan, it says, now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450.
Right.
And
so
the prophets.
So the prophets of Baal, right, was 450 of them, you know? So that's more, 450 of them. So that's the popular God at this point, you know. But that don't mean it's the true God. You got it.
It says, "In the prophets of the groves 400."
And his verses, Elijah, who's by himself, right, with the true God, the true religion, okay, the true belief. Okay, you got it.
It says, "In the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table." So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel.
Why? Because Jezebel had power. You know, like, because people want to follow something they think they profiting in. You know, so that's why you got other gods outside of so-called outside of the Most High, because whoever can help people profit, that's who God. You know, Jay-Z said that. He said, "I never prayed to God, I prayed to Gotti." You know? Because Gotti had the way in which Jay-Z was trying to profit. See, with the Most High, he not going to teach Jay-Z to do that. So to him, the Most High is unprofitable. But really, well, as the Lord say, he said, I said not to the seed of Jacob, seek me in vain. He said, I speak the things that are right. So to you, you may think this is profit, and I might counsel you to do something else. But that's because that's not true profit. Like the Lord had Yahushua come and say, what shall a man profit if he gain the whole world but lose his own soul? So the Lord not going to have you going that way. So, but see, people want to follow their own way. You know, all the ways of man are right in his own eyes, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And that's what the Lord tries to show his people. But if you ain't into that, you want to get it how you live, you're going to follow anybody else that can help you profit in the way you can live, which that will become your God. And that's what makes someone a God. Because if they can do that, they basically have power. They can do that for you. You got it.
Yeah, Khan. 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 20, it says, so Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If the Lord Yahweh be God, follow him.
Right.
But if Baal,
right, like religion.
Exactly.
You know? Go ahead.
But if Baal, then follow him.
Right. Now, what would be the way to determine that? Whatever one can pretty much profit, you know, or make you look good, or come through for you, or right. all those things. Because the true God gonna be able to do all those things. Okay? You got it.
Yeah, Khan.
And ultimately, which one can beat out the other, like completely destroy the other one? You got it.
It says, and the people answered him not a word.
Right. Go ahead.
Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord Yahweh.
Right. It was just him. Okay. Go ahead.
But Baal's prophets are 450 men.
Right. Because they was putting people to death, which is what they. But the Lord kept a remnant, you know? Some fall off, some get put to death ultimately. But the Lord always gonna keep men of the Lord around, you know? When you read Romans the 11th chapter, even at this present day, you know, it was going into pretty much those that was cut off during Nebuchadnezzar's rule, and those that was cut off during Ahaz. Really, that was Jezebel's rule. When a woman ruled, because really Ahab wasn't ruling because his woman was telling him what to do. You know? So it's a balance for everything. So you got to see what it looked like when a woman ruled, you know? And what the glory and the result of that. She fell out of the damn window and dogs ate her bones, ate her hands and all type of stuff like that. Left her hands and her feet or something like that. You know? You got it.
Yeah, Khan. 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 22. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord Yahweh. but Baal's prophets are 450 men.
Right. So this is the test that he's gonna do to show which power, which God can outright come through for you. Not how you out here looking stupid. And I'm completely dominate the other one. Go ahead.
It says, let them,
and ultimately can do all things. Go ahead.
kind of says, let them therefore give us 2 bullocks.
Right. So this is what he was saying. Go ahead.
And let them choose 1 bullock for themselves.
Right. Go ahead.
So
give me a bull and get them a bull. Right? Go ahead. Because see, with all gods, even if it's a so-called human, a sacrifice must be given. You know, you gotta make a sacrifice in order to make that your God, you know, and profit from it. Okay, go ahead. So so this is why he was able to use this, because they about to do a pretty much an offering. Go ahead.
Yeah, Khan. It says, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and it on Salak. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under.
Right, he's gonna lay it there. Go ahead.
It says, and call ye on the name of your gods.
Right, see? So once again, with having a God, you gotta have a name. Now what if you get what if he exists but you get his name wrong? That's showing you that that's serious. Come on.
It says, and call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord Yahweh.
Right.
And the God,
that's showing you he understood. He ain't say I'm gonna just say anything. He said I'm gonna call on his name. And this is the moment of him profiting, looking stupid, being delivered or not. You know, go ahead. Because they ultimately would have killed Elijah if the Most High didn't win.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
And the God that answered by fire, let him be God.
Right. See, there it is. If a God that can do all things. Go ahead.
And all the people.
That's God, man. That's the Most High. That's the power. That's the one you ought to worship. Go ahead.
And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken.
Right. It was like, okay, that's fair. Come on.
And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you 1 bullock for yourselves and dress it first.
Right.
For ye are many.
Get it set up, put it on wood. You know, no water on it. You know what I'm saying? To make sure the fire, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Go ahead.
It says, for ye are many.
Get it prepared for your God, man. Go ahead.
And call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under.
Said, for ye are many.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
It says, and put no fire under.
Yep.
And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even unto noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they heaped upon the altar which was made.
Yeah, they ain't getting no answer. God didn't respond to him for some reason. Go ahead.
And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them.
Yeah.
And said, cry aloud.
Yeah, and that's what you know, those that worship the true God gonna do. They got the true power on their side. I just had a dream about that. You know, I was mocking this goddamn Ishmaelite. You know, telling him Allah. He's like, nah, how about Shmuel Shah? He's like, I know you mocking me. You know, I was mocking this dude. Because that's how the Lord get down. The Lord say, what, he gonna mock when these people fear come. How you think he gonna mock? He ain't getting off the throne to come down here and be like, He gonna have his men that's worshiping him, his believers that's worshiping him, mocking you people. While you being destroyed, they laughing like ain't nothing, like they can't be touched. Like they have no words. That's how it was. Go ahead.
Yeah, Khan. It says, and it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking or is he pursuing.
Right.
Or
right, he busy. Maybe he busy.
Exactly.
Maybe hit his other line. Call his other phone. Go ahead.
Or
did you email him? Go ahead.
Or is he in a journey?
Right. You know what? Maybe he on vacation. Go ahead.
Or
our God, the Most High, don't even sleep, man. It say, he that watches for Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. So the Lord, he with us all the time, even when we not up. Go ahead. These other gods, they on permanent vacation. They don't even exist. Go ahead.
It says, or peradventure he's sleeping.
Yep.
It must be awake.
See? The Lord don't sleep, man. Go ahead. A real God don't have to sleep, man. Yeah. A real God don't have to sleep. Okay? Go ahead.
And they cried aloud.
How you gonna worship somebody that's equal to you? You know? Here it is, he's supposed to be watching over you, but he gotta sleep like you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You on deck when he ain't on deck. Come on, man. You know? Go ahead.
And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets.
So they was cut spiritually and they manifested. Go ahead.
Till the blood gushed out upon them.
Yeah. See? That was it, man. Because they ultimately just had demons on them. What they was worshiping was just demons. There's only it's only someone that do that is someone that got demons on them. So that was the result of that. So he mocked them and they put themselves to death ultimately. You know, they ultimately got put to death. That's like what happened in that dream. You got it.
And it came to pass when midday was past.
The Most High supposed to be watching over us, but he's sleeping.
Went to sleep, taking a nap.
You know? Because your God, obviously, like we in the image of the Most High, so it ain't to say, but you shouldn't be equal or more powerful to him. I mean, you his God. It should always be a moment where you ain't on deck and he ain't. You know? I mean, he is. Go ahead.
Verse 29, it says, and it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded.
Go ahead.
And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me.
All right, check this out. Now y'all see they failed miserably. They put themselves to death. They gotta be following the wrong thing. You know, they dying. They getting put to death for worshiping their God. They God killing them for worshiping them. They God got them offing themselves, committing suicide. Go ahead.
And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down.
Go ahead.
And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the son of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name.
What verse you in?
31. Yeah, kind. 1 Kings 18 and verse 36. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord, Yahweh, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel.
Read through 40.
It's kind. It says, let it be known this day that thou art God of Israel, right, and that I am thy servant,
right,
and that I...
Because that was the issue back then. You had Israelites worshiping other gods, leading other people off, and because they making them look like they prophet. Just like now, you got more people willing to try to become pastors of churches because they buddy they know, or they uncle they know doing good for themselves. But it's through lying. And when it really comes down to it, they're going to get put to death by the very one they not worshiping and transgressing against, and by the very one they are worshiping. You know, it's going, you know, really, which is nobody. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
It says that
so those particular individuals was what? Causing the other Israelites to get into that. You know, that was teaching for filthy lucre's sake. They was trying to profit, but not in the way that the Lord say was profitable, which is what true profit is, obviously, but in the way that they thought was profitable. And when they found the God of being a people that could do that for them, that's what they went with, man. And then that pushed more of That's that Baal. That's that do as thou wilt. Get what you want. Get it how you live. Lord, the Lord is not gonna. He could turn you over to that, but you ain't gonna get that by worshiping Him. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna tell you to do something. No, we're gonna get it. I'm gonna give you durable riches. You know, you can't pray to the Lord and be like, Lord, let me hit this lick. I just need 60 bands real quick. You know? He be like, nah. He might not even give you the money. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give you something else though. And that's ultimately the kingdom. You know? An unlimited amount of funds. Go ahead.
Yeah, Khan. It says, "And that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou..."
That go to what Yahweh said. He said, I have done all these things through thy word because of your word. Meaning what? He knew what he worshiped. Basically saying they didn't know what they was even worshiping. We know what we worship for salvation of the Jews. You know? People worshiping stuff they don't even know nothing about. Worshiping pagan holidays, all these pagan gods. Niggas going to so-called buildings, so-called churches on Sunday, worshiping the sun. You know, going back to Horus and all that madness, Egyptology. You know? And it's really all of the appreciation of this God called Baal still being around. Because that was the God that allowed you to basically do what you want. Trick yourself, fool yourself. There was other guys too, but that was the one that was like, of that. Like when those that was worshiping Baal, they was under that do as thou wilt. Do whatever the hell you want to do. You know? Go ahead.
Yeah, Khan, it says, "Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord of their God."
Because the Lord said it was going to be times where what? Where Jake forget?
Khan.
Go ahead, brother.
"And that thou hast turned their heart back again."
You like to show them that you speaking to them. You trying to show them. Go ahead. You trying to get cause them to realize.
Exactly.
Cause them to learn. Right? Now do something to where they don't forget anymore. Come on.
Yeah, Khan. This is verse 38. It says, "Then the fire of the Lord Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice,
That was it. Just out of just like that. Go ahead.
and the wood, and the stones, and the dust."
Yeah, what verse you in?
38.
Come on, read through 40.
"And licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it..."
Yeah, because the Lord is a consuming fire.
Khan.
So it consumed everything, man. Go ahead.
"And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, The Lord Yahweh, He is the God. The Lord Yahweh,
They said Yahweh is the God, not the Lord Yahweh. They say Yahweh is the God, man. Yahweh is the God. Yahweh is the God. Yahweh is the power. You know? Yahweh is Allah. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, Khan. It says, "And Elijah said unto them, Take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them."
Why? Because that's a commandment. Your hand's supposed to be upon those that cause our people to go and serve other gods. For what? To put them to death. Go ahead.
"And Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon and slew them there."
That's the law. So that's it. So jumping back to the point, the God that everybody, to cap the point off, the God, the one that beats out the other one, right? That may be the religion, the true religion is the one that can beat out the other one. Despite despite the other one despite one having more people. It don't come down to that. It comes down to the true, what was able to prevail, stand, not be confounded, not have you out here looking bad, and ultimately can save and do all things, period. Even when everybody not even into it. That's how it goes. Because really in the spirit, all these people prophets of Baal, man. These are followers of Baal, all these other gods. Nigga, nigga oppose you coming to him with the Most High, with his job, you know what I'm saying, or what his white buddy did for him or something. That's that nigga God, man, cause he profited. You know, what white man give me clothes, white man do this, white man do that. That's their God, man. You know, a lot of niggas' parents they God, niggas' women's they goddamn God. Baking cakes to the Queen of Heaven. Whatever you make, whatever you feel like profits for you, that's what you gonna call your God, man. You know, like you women, your men your God. He's supposed to be your God. You know. Period, man. In the ancient time, men would call each other Lord, man. My Lord, Lord. That's a
Only there is a small line.
What's it? Let me make sure I say that right. You got it.
Yeah, kind. I'm gonna read this real quick in the book of Romans, chapter 9. In verse 22, it says, "What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?" And that's ultimately what we seeing, you know. The Lord allows these powers to mount up too. And that's why these people still walking around currently in this time being, doing as thou wilt, and just being consumed in their own mind and what their own thought is of what power is. And the Lord, he allows these things to happen because he's proven a point. Because ultimately, anyone that's not serving the Lord, they're those vessels that are fit for destruction. Because they're not in line with what the true power is. They're not serving the true power. And ultimately, they're serving themselves. And as we just read, they're serving that God that's Baal, that has no there's no true resources that come from him outside of vanity, man.
Yeah, like for example, so it's technically not a surname, but they got it under a surname. So they are called men Lord, and obviously Lord means master, etc. Like that's why it's written in the New Testament epistles. Sarah calling her Lord, her husband Lord. When you women, you know, you deal with your husbands, you deal with them like you're dealing with the Lord, because he the one that profits for you. He make everything work. He your head, you know. So that's, you know, that's a real thing, man. Okay, so whoever can profit for you, that's your God, man. However you see it, you know. But all profit is of the Lord, man. You know. Oh, go ahead and grab this. Isaiah 48 and 17. It says, I'm gonna start it. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am Yahweh, thy God, which teaches thee to profit, which leadeth thee by the way that thou shouldest go." So, ultimately, even if you don't see the profit and how the Lord got it going, you still gonna ultimately end up with profit. You're gonna end up profiting, because niggas want to get rich now, only to lose all those riches or transfer them into what? Into either cryptocurrency, you know, or digimoney, which ultimately is going to be the mark of the beast, you know, the mark beast. So you lose out. But the Lord, coming and learning the Lord, you can't do that. He like, don't even get hung up on that. And if you do get the riches of this world, don't set your heart upon them, you know. Because riches, first of all, just to prove the point, they tell you in Proverbs, surely witches make themselves wings and fly away. So a lot of niggas' gods is the white man, they jobs, you know, they goddamn gang leader. You know, like you see that on the movie 50s, Get Rich or Die Trying, Just Serve, You Got Served. On the movie You Got Served, they was worshiping a damn drug leader because he could front them money. He could take care of it, you know. And he'll suffer. Nigga suffer getting his ass beat, or you know, his leg, you know,
Snap.
yeah, you know.
Another one is
got it.
The movie In Too Deep. Pretty much they called him God, like literally. You know, so that's a very clear example. But that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a bunch of false gods, a bunch of false idols to serve. You know, that truly have no profit. They have no profit at the end of the day. Because right now it may seem to profit you, but ultimately it's against you.
Yeah, niggas worship they women. If you think your woman, you know, profitable for you, you think you see your woman causing you to profit. You know, the niggas worship they women, man. You know, but all profit once again is on Yahweh B'Shem Shai.
I'm gonna read this real quick. Romans chapter 9 and verse 17. It says, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up." So the Lord, he allows people to be raised up. He allows people to be perceived as gods, perceived as they have powers, but he's ultimately doing it, you know, for his ultimate purpose. It says, "For the scripture saith unto the Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth." So the Lord allowed these people to mount up there. He allows them to pick their own gods, well, actually he's choosing their delusions because he's ultimately the Most High. You know, he's always in charge, but what's perceived to be gods in front of these people's faces, that's just because the Most High is allowing that to be. And he's doing so just so he can show his power. And ultimately him showing his power is the day when all of these false gods are proven to not be gods, proven not to be profitable, proven to actually never have had true power. And he's actually going to show that through their destruction, the ultimate destruction. Because here on the earth today, we understand the earth giving it to the hands of the wicked, and we understand clearly through scriptures it's talking about the so-called white man. Most people, if it comes down to their jobs, if it comes down to the religion, if it comes down to material things that they serving, they come from the so-called white man who has perpetuated what God is here on earth. You know, he shows God to be something in riches and, you know, resources that perish. And that's what people that are of the world who have no knowledge of what a true God is, or what God is, you know, because there's only one God, Yahweh, they're given to those thoughts just for it to be proven wrong. And that's why we, the true believers of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, speaking of the 1/3 of the Israelite nation, we are awaiting our true power, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, we're waiting for Yahweh Shai to return those clouds, to come with those chariots, to show that power, to bring destruction to this earth, and namely here in this land that we're walking in and standing in right now, which is America. It's gonna be by the way of fire, by the way of nuclear missiles, by the way of chariot laser beams. And it's unimaginable right now simply because the Lord is allowing all of this to play out. But ultimately it's all for the Lord's will to be shown forth and to be proven, and to show that he is the Most High power. And when he establishes his power here on earth, it's ultimately going to be forever. And that's the kingdom of heaven being here on earth. And that's going to be a kingdom that is established and ruled and ran by the Israelites, according to the will of the Heavenly Father, because we're going to be actually acknowledging who our true power is, which is Yahweh. Therefore, it's very important, once again, to learn this and know it, you know what I'm saying? To learn these scriptures and understand what's going on. And also go forth to what? Remember it. I was just looking at the title. I'm trying to.
I got some. This is Acts 5 and 7. I'm gonna start at 38. It says, "And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught."
Yeah, kind. So, if you could also grab Acts 5 and 29, but if it's not of the Lord, it's going to come to an end. It's not true. You know, this is pretty much everything we perceive it. If it's a counsel of man, if it's not coming out of the understanding of this doctrine, it's going to come to naught, meaning it's going to fail. That's not true power. You can get that.
Verse, okay, Khan. This is verse.
Unless you got more.
Khan. This is verse 39. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it.
Yeah, it won't be overthrown if it's of the Most High, because it's going to be truly established. What the Lord establishes is what's ultimately always going to rock out, what's going to play here on earth. Even if it's the so-called white man being in power right now, it's of the Lord for that to happen. That was established by the Lord, so it's going to be. But it only has its duration if that's going to play out, and that's all according to understanding what's written in this book.
Yeah, this is Romans 9 and verse 17. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Yeah, once again, the Lord is allowing these things to happen. He allows these people to rock out and to get it, but ultimately he's doing it for his own purpose, which is to let them come up high so he can bring them down low, put them down low, because his name is going to be established on earth.
Well,
and
go ahead, man. Sorry. I was just getting at the back of what you just said. You said the so-called white man. You worship the so-called white man. Well, the Lord raised the so-called white man up, once again, to shoot his power, because there ain't no power but of the Most High. So if that's true, the Lord will be able to take the most powerful man in existence right now, being the so-called white man, right, and destroy him. Period. And then he said what? He said that his name, going back to what we were saying, his name, meaning what he's called and what he stands for, what come with him, right? Which is he the one that, you know, can't fall, man. He the one that can't be confounded. He the one nobody else counsels. Like I said, whoever counsels the Lord, man. Because when the so-called white man taken out, you're gonna know it's through a supernatural force, because you're seeing it happen now. And guess what? A name is gonna be there. A name gonna be put there. And who that name gonna be? The name that's being put with all the devastation that's taking place right now. They said this is the worst school shooting since Sandy Hook, which was possibly a damn setup, you know, and all these other ones. Well, the Lord did that, man. Salakia, Yahweh did that. That's why they trying to muzzle us. Because if they let us get out as much as like all the other news and talk them out, it would go throughout the earth. But it already has, because it's on the internet. This is in I guarantee you, everybody on each continent on the face of this earth has heard this truth, at least one person. The Lord didn't say everybody. He didn't say everybody gonna hear it or listen and hear it in detail like those that's in on it. He just said this gospel gonna be preached throughout all the earth. So all it needs to do is be heard by, it need to be found in every place, every continent, right? And country on the face of this earth. And I guarantee we this close. Because obviously on the continent level, that's easy.
Yeah, fine.
You know what I'm saying? But then when you get more detail, you gotta go down to the countries. Okay, now we still got work to do. But I guarantee it's in every continent. You know? And that's what? This power named Yahweh destroying every goddamn body and trying to prove to everybody he's the only one that exists. So yeah, that's exactly what we was talking about. So that's the spirit.
Yeah, you get the Acts.
Khan. This is verse 29, Acts 5. It says, then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men.
Yep. And that's what ultimately what we're doing right now. We're obeying the Most High rather than men. Therefore, we seeing contrary to what the popular belief is, you know, which is the whole situation that was going on.
I got more too.
Yeah, Khan. That's the whole situation that was going on, what we just read with Elijah, the 400 prophets versus him. Ultimately, we ought to obey God rather than men. Men usually follow the majority, but the Most High's word, as we just read, is what's going to be established on the earth and throughout the earth.
I mean, you follow men, because men get that misconstrued, so don't get that misconstrued. You follow men, all right? You follow men. Yahweh Shai was a man, all right? First of all, why you think he was born as a man? Because you're gonna follow men. You know? Surely the Lord will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets to the servants, the prophets. So you're gonna follow men that's following the Lord. You're not gonna follow men over the Lord, man. You know? You're not gonna follow men doing what they want to do. That's why it says, let me grab it real quick. This is Proverbs 20. Let's see what's wrong here. Yeah, kind. It says, this is Proverbs 16 and verse 25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So men, following men that's not following the Lord, that has forsaken the fountain of wisdom, there it is, the fountain of wisdom. That's instruction, the way you're supposed to go, which is only from, you know, gonna be correct if it's according to the Father. It's gonna result in death, man. So following men that's not doing that, that has forsaken the fountain of wisdom, you know, that's following men. But if you following men that's like Yahushua say, in the last day of the feast, the Lord stood up and said, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. Why? Because he was following the Heavenly Father, man. You know? That's his order. That's how it go. And why he say that? Because he was a prophet. Okay? So, yeah, that's that. You got it.
You say you have more.
Yeah, this is Acts 5 and 39. I'm going to start back at. It says, but if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be even to fight against the Most High. So if you crazy, you want to go up against the Most High, go up against those that's with the Most High, that's standing for the Most High, you know? Because you'll be like, well, how do we know? Well, I just explained it to you. Those that's not pushing to you, men that's not pushing to you, how about Yahushua, right? They telling you what you think, if they think instead of what the Most High say, which is what they think. That's somebody that would be, if you went on to follow them, that would be the instance of following man, right? And to read this one more time, Acts 5 and 39, it says, but if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. It says, and that's another way to know, because they ain't gonna lose ultimately. Even if it seems like they're losing temporarily, you got to be able to learn what a true loss is, you know? Because once again, you got loss and you got sacrifice. So Paul said he count all things lost that he may gain Yahushua. He count all things dung to win Yahushua HaMashiach. Now, in the same breath, the Lord tells us we got to make sacrifices. So really, you can call those losses that Paul said he's having sacrifices, you know? Because ultimately you don't lose with the Lord, man. It says, the Yahweh, watch me outside, but it says, and let them alone, for if this counsel or this work be of men, it will become to naught. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be even to fight against the Most High. I had a point, but it slipped my mind now. It says, and to him they agreed. And when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahushua. There it is. And let them go. See? So those was men. And what was those men doing? Those men was teaching the name of Yahushua. And what was the other men doing that was in power, that others was following because they was helping them profit, right, in the way they wanted to. But ultimately was procuring to themselves what? Death. They was telling them to stop teaching in that name, man. You see? And but what did they have in common? They was all men. You know? So you do follow men, it's just what said. You know? It says what? It says, and they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing, right? They departed from what? The Sanhedrin, which is the elder men that was looked at like gods. You know, like Nate. Nate like somebody that remind me of someone from the Sanhedrin, right? And men was following them. Those men in that Sanhedrin, really, because when you go into the word elder or Sanhedrin means elders, and when you go into the word elder, it means authority, basically like power, you know, God-like, you know. But see, you had just like in the instance of men, you got an elder is a man, and you got sets of different men. Just like you got sets of different elders who are still just what, men. And a certain set of these elders, aka men, they weren't following the Heavenly Father. That was that council. That was the Sanhedrin. They was the ones that was telling people to stop. He was telling the other men, right, the apostles, to stop teaching the name of Yahushua. That's what they was doing. And who did that remind me of Nate, man. And niggas listen to that dude all day. The three greatest men on the face of the earth. See? Why he say all that? Because Nate made him look like somebody. Nate commit, you know. Men was probably coming up to dudes that did the announcement. They're like, yo, bro, you got a nice, you know, you got a nice voice, brother. You know, you gonna be at the next Passover, brother? We just love when you do this, brother. And that make brothers feel some way. But yeah, Khan, I'm gonna get this word real quick. This is elder for the edification. Yeah, the presbytery, right? Which is translates to the elder. It's all the same thing, but it says a term of rank or office. It says advanced in life, an elder, a senior. It could be of age, forefather. Look, members of the great council or Sanhedrin, because in early times the rulers of the people, judges, etc., were selected from elderly men, right? So they was basically on the level of they had power, man. Yeah, the Israelite Sanhedrin. They was godlike, man. You know, they had that rank. It's another one that actually tell you that. They say they had power. Oh yeah, yeah. They say the 24 members of the heavenly Sanhedrin or court, seated on thrones around the throne of God. So, as he says, and on earth as it is in heaven. So everything we do on earth is supposed to be a representation of what's going on in the heavens. So you're gonna have the council of elders, the Sanhedrin, but they appeared like it. That's why Yahushua came down and they was his #1 enemies, which is so opposite. Because up there he completely, you know, for that. So the main people he have the issue with is the main people that's supposed to be of God, you know? That's crazy. But like I said, that remind me of Nate. So to finish this off, it says, and they departed, Acts 5 and 41, and they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy. These particular men were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name, right? Because it say through much tribulation you're gonna enter into the kingdom of heaven. But it say, and daily in the temple and in every house they ceased not to teach and preach Yahushua HaMashiach. Meaning what? The name. You know, the true God, man. Okay? This should just be clear. They was teaching what? Those was men that was teaching you to follow Yahushua. That's why Paul said in 1 Corinthians 11 chapter, he said what? Be ye followers of me, as I am also a follower of Mashiach. So we rather to obey God than men is you obeying God and submitting yourself to those the men that follow God, right? That's why I say, because it can't say that and then the next instance it tell you what? Submit yourself unto the elders. So when they say obey God rather than men, you meaning you pick God over a man that may have power, but he ain't pushing the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. That's what you go. You don't go over a man that's over you and he got power, or he got power, but he I didn't mean to say power. he follows God. That don't even make sense. That's being that would be in that instance, if you follow them, that would be you being like-minded and what? Following the Most High, man. You know? You got it, brother.
No, I'm not looking for nothing specific. One I had sort of just went off topic.
What about the spirit? Whatever you got. Like I said, everything come down to what? Realizing, whatever the order is, learning, then realizing, and not forgetting, man. And what all we've been sitting here talking about, how really everything else fake, no matter if it look like it's profiting, or maybe profit to you, or maybe profit that you lawfully are able to get and acquire. It's not nothing now that learning this, according to this. If it's against the Most High, right? It's not nothing in comparison to him, none of that. You learning that, you gotta realize that. And don't forget that, man. And it's learning and realizing way more stuff than that, you know? So ain't none of this, you know, anything in comparison to the Lord, man. And that's what these people gonna learn the hard way. You know? Ain't no running out of words for this, man. You know?
1 Corinthians 3:18.
Ain't no running out of words. As the Lord said, he said what? He says, any man believe on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So that's why you got to really learn the Lord. You got to really learn and what? Realize what's going on. Because once you do, it's rivers of living water, man. You know? Now it's a point where I ain't gonna say it stop, but that's just more so I'm talking while we go get off camera. You know, but this don't stop, man. The Lord everlasting, man. You said 3:18?
Actually, you get 3 and verse 5.
It says, who then is Paul? 1 Corinthians?
Yeah, that's it.
1 Corinthians 3:5, it says, who then is Paul and who is Apollos? By ministers by whom he believed, even as the Lord gave to every man.
Yeah, so it's just further the fact that it is men that are set up, that we learn from, that we teach from. And you keep on going, get to the point.
Yeah, kind of. You can basically say that. But anyway, verse 6, it says, I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High, or that was the point, but it says, I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High, but the power gave the increase.
Yeah, kind. So it's all in doing the work, man. It's all part of us being built up, is the fact that we are subject to those who are we put ourselves around, you know, the ones we are around, who we actually gonna follow. So it's not a following all men, it's a following the right man. So these men ahead of us, they've planted and they've watered, but the Lord, he's who ultimately has given us this increase, you know. But it's all, again, within the power of the Heavenly Father. If you can give me on verse 18, I'll go to that.
This is verse 18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise.
Yeah, kind. So just furthering the point we started off with, the fact that we are to be here learning and realizing, know, us learning who we are in this world and coming out of this world is us coming into the fact that we have to become fools for the Lord's sake. And that's us following His word and being contrary to the masses, and us being in tune with what the actual God is, the one God who is Yahweh. You can keep on reading.
This is 1 Corinthians 3 and 9. Did I read the whole thing?
19. You can read through 18 and go to 19 next.
Okay, it says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the power. It says, for it is written,
the foolishness of this world is say it, let me read that.
Wisdom.
Yeah, it's the wisdom of God. The foolishness.
The wisdom of this world is foolishness.
Yeah, the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. So what we see these people following, going back to Baal's prophets, those 450, that was foolishness. That's why when they called on their Lord, they didn't get a response. So it's complete foolishness. That's why Elijah was able to make a mockery of them. Is your God asleep? Is he on vacation? You know, do you need to call him again? That's a mockery, you know, because that's foolishness. But that's the wisdom of this world, is to follow those masses, and that's not what it is. Yeah, you keep on reading.
Yeah, to translate that mean what? Modern time, you people doing that, man. You know, people take pride in just stupidity, man. You know, let me see if that bag can save you. You know, call on the you might have a nigga that's a brand. He had all the brand drops. You know, of a certain designer. Well, call on that designer. You know, when all hell break loose, man. Which is completely on what's happening right now, which is completely on the way. You ain't gonna be able to do it. The only one you're gonna be able to call on is the one whom you denied, right? And instead, falsely called on him in the form of, well, in the name of Jesus Christ and God. You know, that's not the name. You know, that's not the name at all. You ain't gonna be able to call on anybody in that day besides Yahweh Ba'al Shah, man. You know? This is so like you said, read on?
Yeah, and that's just the wisdom of this world, Jesus Christ and God, which is foolishness. To the Heavenly Father, you can read on.
Yeah, or more so, yeah, that's the wisdom of this world, but because people preach Jesus and they get a lot of money. You preach Jesus, you get a lot of dang money, man. You preach the Yahweh Ba'al Shah, you don't get no money for that, man. People like, who is that? What are you talking about? I remember, matter of fact, dude wasn't even preaching, so I can't even use him, but we was set up over there, and the dude was playing on the thing, and he had the tip bucket out.
Right.
Well, was over there tipping this dude, man. You know, but they have no clue. This is the one that had that temple set up, and he started that whole concept of tithing. He's the original concept of tithing and sacrificing and offerings. Hey, you know what I'm saying? For the service or something. And these people don't even recognize it, man. Because they follow other gods, it's clear. All these people, man. That's why he said at the end, every knee gonna bow, man. This is 1 Corinthians 3. And 20. It says, and again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain.
And it it's talking about, yeah, I'm just trying to recollect that. Because the wise, that's what it's talking about. It says the wise, but it's pretty much said, it's said in,
yeah, the wise is talking about the wise of this world.
Yeah.
So he say, you know, the thoughts of the wise, meaning the people of this world, that they are vain.
Emptiness. So yeah. It said basically it's mockery.
They focusing on nothing, man. They thoughts is things that can't profit them. You know? They once again, wisdom is, you know, being diligent and having a certain instruction to what? To win. But their wisdom is all towards that which is vain. So everything they do in vain. And that's basically how he's just perceiving it. He's looking down and seeing like these people, they get up, they get dressed, you know, they deal with schedule, being prompt, you know, they go to work to get money, you know what I'm saying? They try to come up, but it's just to go to Six Flags, it's just to go get ice cream on Saturday. You worked all week to go eat ice cream on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? That's vanity. Like everything they do, that their thoughts is completely vanity. Because all their wisdom, which is their thoughts, is of vanity. Everything. Everything they've been instructed to do since the point they was born was vain. Niggas went to school, you know. Nigga, damn, even if you a mechanic, if that's all you know, right? Well, this is how I eat. This is how I feed my family. All vanity. Because if you don't know the Lord, you getting destroyed. Matter of fact, I got some. This Sirach. These people. This is Sirach 38. You know? Then the brother, he can read for you. This is Sirach 38, and we're gonna start at verse. This is Sirach 38, and we're gonna start at verse 31. All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work. See that? So everybody, the Lord says, is wise in their work. You go work a 40-hour-a-week job, you know, just to become vain. You know, you're not really building anything, because everything you working towards is what's about to be destroyed, is what's about to end. You working so hard to put Federal Reserve notes in your pocket that the elites that's ruling this world is about to end. You know, they're about to collapse. They're currently collapsing. So it's vain. Like, I mean, think about it. You work, previously we was doing that, 40 hours a week, right? Gas is $3. So it's like, dang, I'm working for nothing. But how much more of now when gas being $5, $6? So it's true. But once again, these people don't see this. They're gonna keep going to work, right? And not seeing, yo, the world, and they're gonna keep trusting in their hands. It says what? It says, without these cannot a city be inhabited. So these people, they have a purpose. You know, somebody gotta be, you know, I remember a dude said on Twitter, somebody gotta flip my burgers. That's true.
That's very true.
But you got particular individuals, right, that may truly be made for that. You know? He's good for that. But what's bad about it, he don't think past that.
Exactly.
You know? He doesn't think past that. Okay? So it's a certain amount, like even, see, the Lord wants the lowest thinking person to even consider making sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, more. You know? That can be, oh, I'm fine. Everybody not gonna be on a ruling class level or care about those things, but he wants everybody on this earth to consider vanity and true profiting, you know? And that's ultimately him. But it says, Sirach 38 in verse 32, continue. It says, without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. It says, they shall not be sought for in public council, nor sit high in the congregation. It says, exactly, they're not gonna rule, you know? But see, people don't know, regardless of you not, one, you doing that is why you can't rule, because you just focus on being a simp. But you don't know the Lord has a problem with you even being on that level, because you don't think
Past that.
yeah, they don't think past that. And then you literally will tell these people, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, don't you see more to that? And they just stuck on stupid.
Consider this, consider that.
God damn. You'll come to them and they act like you just disrespected them. Like, bro, your arms bend this way, that way, and all you do is this. You know? Flipping patties.
If I could, it's like somebody who
Got it, brother.
somebody only work on their legs in the gym, you know? But you got a whole body. You know, it comes to a point where you gotta balance out. That's what it's, you know, ultimate point of. It's a balance. Because things have to work, you know? This whole city is running because of the very thing we're talking about right now.
Yeah, balance is to be considered. You know? The balance ain't gonna be, brother, you gotta flip your patty and then, you know, rule the world. No. He's saying the balance is to be considered. It's more than just working. It's more than just going up and down the street. You know? It's bigger things happening around you. It's bigger things you need to consider. You know? Like those is gonna actually, like the fact that the Lord exists and he is pissed at the fact that people won't look past they minute, mundane life. You know? He's pissed at that. And these people about to see it, people have no clue. The Lord, he's so mad about that, man. He said all the nations that forget God gonna be turned into hell. You people gonna be running up and down these streets screaming pretty soon, man. Because the powers that be, which he set up to show you, right, worship me over everybody else. But you was too busy making them fat and rich. He finna allow them, he's about to allow them to perform the biggest act of treason on you people. And you don't even see it. You gonna be out here living your worst nightmare, man. I was thinking about this last night, man. I was like, people have no clue that they about to be living their worst nightmare. And you devils, you going into slavery, so it don't matter what you think, how you feel about it, you gonna suffer. Miserable. But these people have no clue. He has no clue. She has no clue. He has no clue, possibly. But some of you do. Some of y'all see it, but you ignore it. But they really have no idea that they're gonna probably suffer their worst terror. You know? Lord gonna allow this place to open up, man. And you can really go there and it just make me see why they was putting the prophets to death. Because the stuff that's clearly seen by them is rude as hell when they tell you about it. Like your little girl, man, your wife gonna get raped in front of you. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it, man. Your little girl, this dude's just gonna rape your little girls. You gonna get raped. You gonna get put to death, man. You know, somebody gonna take you and put you in the lake because you was out strolling when all hell break loose, and they wanted everything they had on you. And it's at the time where the Lord took all mercy off, and they gonna drown you in that lake. And that was probably that person's worst way they considered of dying. They're like, man, it's the worst way to die. And the Lord gonna have that happen to you. You got it?
Back up to brother's point, Isaiah 66:4 says, I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes and chose that in which I delighted not.
Yeah, kind. You want to speak on it?
Yeah, kind. Yeah, so those delusions, you know, as the elder brother was just saying, like the fact is these people are going to be seeing the worst, they're possibly seeing their worst imagined nightmares come to life. The brother said, it sounded rude as he was saying, y'all, she has no idea what's going on. He has no idea what's going on.
It ain't even bother them.
No, she turned around.
Oh, yeah.
She turned around and basically gave a face like she was offended.
But she's gonna be looking for me in that day.
That's very true, because she considered what was being said, but the whole thing is she looked offended as if he wasn't just speaking the truth.
Because you know what? The only thing to match what's about to happen to you people is these men that was standing on the corner looking like they was talking about something. We the only ones, like literally, this is gonna match it's gonna match those moments. And everybody gonna think about us. They're gonna be like, the only thing I can think about that could possibly have an answer to this is that shit. What was that shit?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why learn, realize, and don't forget this, man.
But you,
and that, yeah, not talking really to these, but like that's why it's so important. It's so important because these people around here, they're not going to come close to that. They just gonna remember what they look like, and they go draw the two things together as if like this is it.
Because all you heathens gotta learn the Lord.
Exactly.
If you're an Edomite, so-called white person, you gonna go in slavery and be eradicated, man. Everybody on the face of the earth besides, so even him, but he gonna be killed from doing it. Ain't gonna be no more Edomites. You know, that Esau as a race will not exist no more. Because the Lord already said how they get down. But this a warning to all you people, man. You thinking you know, this is what's gonna make you worship the Father. What's to come? You know? Because think about it. All these people really left their God to serve the so-called white man.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody. That's a so-called white dude now. He whole so-called Chinese. You a white boy now.
Exactly.
He Edomite. Everybody walking past, recording like, it's not gonna help you.
Taking pictures.
Yeah, that's not gonna help you, man. Learning and realizing and not forgetting this is what's gonna help you, man. This is Psalms 14:1. You have more? Talk about? You have more? 14:1. The fool have said in his heart they are corrupt. It's like in his heart there is no God. Right? There is no higher power. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Yahweh looketh down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek God. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one. Have all the workers up. So pretty much the Lord, it's just chaotic down here how they seeing it. Because really, he's only concerned with, he only know his people.
Exactly.
First of all. But because you people was already, you was never in the way. You know? So you was never of the way. So you automatically counted as filthy. You know? But you still had certain things put in you to where you know right from wrong on some level. Because if he didn't do that, what would make you any different? I mean, Solomon said that. If man will see his estate, he's just like a beast. So if that's true, a time gonna come when that have to manifest. How beast-like these people are. You're gonna really see people don't know what not to eat. People don't know about they don't know what love truly is. You know what I'm saying? That time gotta manifest. If the wisest man ever lived said, people are like beasts. That gotta manifest. And that's what Jacob's trouble gonna consist of, man. Watch. People gonna be out here just, Mace made a song. It was called, if you had 48 hours, 24 hours to live. And it went like, if you had 24 hours to live, just think. What would you do? Where would you go? What would you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just think. And they was all, and there was a bunch of rappers on it, and they was all, in their verse, they was rapping what they'd do. So you got people that's thinking like that already, man. The people already know, they already know this thing about to go down. So you got people that's just, they like, man, I remember growing up saying that. There used to always be something that was posed, the question. If the world was ending, what would you do? People just say everything they think of, you know? You know the number one thing that was said? No, I ain't gonna say it. You got it.
No, if you want to, go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah, kind. But just imagine, that's a good point. Like the imaginations, people's imaginations. And the fact is, if they said it was like beast, people have really wild imaginations, man. And we already see a lot of these imaginations playing out. Mass shootings, people go out and want to just shoot up a school. That's low level because it's happening now. If we know things are going to get ramped up and get worse, imagine how much worse it's going to be. And then how much more innumerable is going to happen. Because these are isolated events, if you will. They're happening simultaneously, but they're happening here, there. Imagine when these things are happening full blown everywhere and everybody's in that mindset. Everybody's just getting it how they perceive to live. Because really, they're not living. So they just getting it however it is. So they don't know how to live, and therefore, these things are going forth to happen. Therefore, it's no true love. Because they don't know what love is. They never learned that. You know?
Yeah, I got some. Psalms 9:15, the heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. So for example, if you caught up in loving dolphins, you love your job at the aquarium, that aquarium gonna get broke into. People gonna be in there looking for women. It's gonna be abominable niggas that's broke out, they looking for men, right? They looking for food, you know? When all the food, people gonna go trying to eat the animals.
Exactly.
They gonna go to that aquarium and you gonna die in that very thing you was caught up in every day. And say you was an Israelite. Woman might get raped, threw in the damn pool, you know? And then the niggas eat, you know, try to eat a dolphin or something like that. That's the type of stuff that's gonna be going on. People gonna be, man, this is a sadistic place. But moving on, it say what? To the point, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in his own work, in the work of his own hands. Salaki. Higegion, Salah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. You know? And these people don't even, because you had a point where people, well, I wouldn't do that because God exists, you know? So it ain't to say that they ever knew God, it's just they had a conscience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you people lose your conscience, that's when it's gonna be getting beast-like. Niggas gonna be out here destroying every goddamn thing. They're gonna be living out all their imaginations, man. Everything they ever wanted to do. Why? Because you completely let your conscience go. You forgot God. It makes sense. If you forget God, you forget, oh, this can happen. You forget repercussions. If everybody did that, what is hell? Hell, is it an actual place? No, it's a condition.
Exactly.
You know? It's a low state. Hell on earth.
You can read that one more time.
This is Psalms 9 and 18, 17. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God.
See, they forget. That's something that happens up here.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so it's definitely talking about what's going on in their mind. And we see it already, but a point I want to make is the fact that when we read in on 2nd Esdras chapter 9, and it tells you that, you know, the place of repentance is open. So it's a place still open for you to turn back to.
If you're an Israelite.
If you're an Israelite. It's a place you can come, and we know we also talking about the other nations or whatever. We talking about everybody right now, but if you're an Israelite, you still have a place of open for repentance. But when that place is completely closed, it's not going to be anywhere to turn
like
back
these
to.
dudes. These dudes crooks, man. Y'all getting ready to go into slavery. Y'all some crooks. You can see it all on their face, man. They some goddamn crooks.
They rejoice in it.
Getting ready to go into slavery. You know, the hell out of here, man.
But yeah, kind. That when these things basically come to an end, when mercy has met his meter and his max is filled up.
What's up, man? How y'all doing? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, once these things are closed, it won't be that. People won't go be. They ain't gonna walk past us and say, "What's up, brothers?" Because they ain't gonna be able to find us. For one, you just gonna be subject to everything that's going on out here, and then everybody's gonna be in a beast type mindset, but there's different kind of beasts. There's prey and there's predators. You know, so some people gonna be out here, you know, as the prey. It's gonna be people out here really getting to it.
Yeah, I got some. This is Revelation 13 and verse I'm gonna start at 6. It says, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Yeah, that's the so-called white man, the one that everybody coming over here for. You know, who's wild and ood and wild and wild, whatever the hell, by his inventions, his wonders. And it says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. He was given the ability, the technology, the mindset to have the influence over everybody on the face of the earth. Even if they have substance in their own land, they will want to come to where he has. Even if they can develop their own technology and have their own original thoughts, you know, they will want to go after what he has created, man. And all them that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. Right? If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience in the faith of the saints. So the saints will understand, just like that man, right? Which is why he know he has a short time, that he will go into slavery for everything he did. Because pretty much, when you read that previous verse, that's telling you that he pretty much enslaved the nations. You know? Really, when you think about it, Esau put everybody in slavery.
Yeah.
When you really think about it.
No, I can't.
Because it say, that's why I say, he gonna become a spoil, man. You know? Just goofy. Mars out here looking at the goddamn, looking like the goddamn white man with a goddamn suit. Now I ain't knocking him if he, you know, he's just getting. But you see, he pointed, he learned, he realized something, but he just forgot that quick. You know, it's gonna get him destroyed. You look, he looked just like him.
He looked
you
just
look
like
him.
Standing behind him, he in line.
I ain't knocking your hustle. I'm just saying.
No, exactly.
Is that all you know? You know? But to cap this off, Esau ultimately put us in the power, the ability, the resources, the influence to be able to enslave all the nations and the chief nations, which is the chief nation, which is the 12 tribes, the Israelite race, you know, all 12 tribes. Okay? And he will ultimately go into slavery for that, right? Now, he will ultimately know that too. Because if he had all influence and had people worshiping him, that means what? That explains why you got the image of Caesar Borgia. You see what I'm saying? That explains why you got the image of Caesar Borgia. You know, the image of the Messiah being him now, the so-called white man. Exactly. That's how he got everybody to worship him. So that means what? He read the Bible. And if he read the Bible, what? That means he know he getting ready to go into slavery for this. You see that? He know if you leading people into slavery, right? You will go into slavery. You enslaved the people's minds. You physically enslaved us and our minds, the Israelites, and you enslaved all the other people's minds to you. So you getting ready to go into captivity for that, man. Okay? And really, that's the reason why all the other nations getting ready to go into captivity, because they follow what you did. You enslaved us, so they was like, we gonna enslave you. All you non-so-called white people, y'all going into slavery too for what y'all did. That's what's manifested, man. The Lord is moving y'all out of y'all life that y'all living right now. That's why gas going up. That's why jobs closing down. That's why all type of, you know, more security is being needed in these schools. That's why your schools getting shut up, because the life you living is getting ready to end. The Lord is ending it. He's introducing you into the world to come. You know? Or you ain't driving no goddamn cars no more, man. We might put y'all back on actual chariots, like with the horses.
Exactly. Carriage.
Yeah, cause this shit pollution. That's why you gotta get a small emissions test, cause it creates smog in the air. That's pollution. So the cars probably gonna disappear. We're gonna put everything back in the ancient way, man. It's gonna be beautiful though, and we're gonna actually have chariots. So y'all down here on horses and chariots, which that's cool. That's a beautiful thing, but we're gonna be in the air, and we're gonna be able to fly. You know? But the whole point, like I said, the Lord, he is setting it up to where you people are being introduced into your life to come, and the so-called white man seeing that. That's why I say he knows that he has but a short time. Because if he was able to take an image, right, and which was how he looked, but put it in an image of a man that said to be the Messiah, that tell you what? He know about the Messiah. He knows about God. He read the Bible. But he wanted to enslave everybody to him, so he took the fact that that Messiah figure exists and made him look like him. But really, he looked more like this. So if he learned that, he know, damn, I also led people into captivity. So that's why I say he know he has but a short time. So then he was a beast. Look what he did. Look how hard he went on the earth. This dude ain't got no mercy. Look what he did to the trees. Look what he do to the animals. He put chips in monkeys. This dude don't care. This dude is about to go ballistic. He's going ballistic now. Y'all think pretty soon you ain't gonna be in your car. You ain't gonna be able to be homosexual. God said stop being homosexual. Don't even be homosexual. This LGBT BQ whatever bullshit, man. You hoes gonna get put to death. How about that? That's what we out here to tell you, man.
You could get Isaiah 29.
Thus saith the Lord, man.
16.
Yeah, let me hold that.
Yeah, kind.
Let me finish reading
Yeah,
this.
got it.
This basically it. This you said 29 and what?
16.
This is
You want to finish up? Call to walk.
yeah, I'm just gonna finish this. This is Revelation 14 and so like at 13, and I'm gonna jump down to the point. It says verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. As you said, these people, the beast like, these people they beast like, they about to be beast like, right? Right? Why? Because the one they following,
that's what he promotes.
yeah, he beast.
He is, exactly.
Beast.
And we see it, what the movies, the imaginations that they subject the world to is completely beast-like. And we pulled out that poster that got the atrocities they did to the Israelite nation when they took us into slavery. You will see that they like beasts, man. They was using kids, babies, as gator bait. They was using babies as footstools. You know, they was putting yokes of iron around people's necks. You know what I'm saying? That's a beast mentality. There's no mercy in that. Their way of conquering is what? Through killing.
Yeah, LGBTQ is beast
like,
mentality.
exactly. It ain't no.
That's
no
the
life
image
in
of the
that.
beast. That's the image, because the image means lifestyle,
Right.
right? So it's a lifestyle it's a beast lifestyle. Just do whatever you want to do, and you see that. That's why eat as much as you want to eat is push Uber, DoorDash, Uber Eats, all these other low brand delivery people. You know,
Exactly.
convenience. It's beast like, man.
Exactly. Instant gratification. You ain't got to work for nothing. You just ask for it, and it's at your door.
Love me.
Exactly.
Ask.
Now.
Yeah, it's beast. So these people literally like monsters. Get as many tattoos as you want. Niggas walking around looking like animals.
Nigga, face, whatever.
Like Javante Davis, he gonna fight tonight. This dude whole body tatted up. He look like a demon. Like his whole, like, his
Everything,
legs
knees.
tatted up. He was at the weigh-in. You know what I'm saying? You know they gotta get on the scale.
That's why the spirit.
Like, yeah, it's the spirit. His body look like that all over.
The stomach tatted up, man.
Defiled. So if the people of Israel is at the sands of the sea, and most of them don't know the Lord, don't want to know the Lord, which will mean you will have a good amount of them with sleeves and their whole body tattooed. You see, that's a whole lot of people, even outside of the tattoo thing, other sins they doing that they ain't repenting for, right?
Exactly.
That's a lot of people that got to be destroyed. So that's a lot of destruction. That's all the nations that forget God shall be turned into hell. And Israel everywhere. So you people, that's why they don't want us here. Really, so-called white man know you got the judgment to pay up for. And now, and he helped you procure that to yourself because he wanted to destroy you himself. She's like, yeah, go ahead, so to do this so the Lord can kill you niggas. But the Lord, he know the Lord gonna kill him too.
Exactly.
So he just crazy. Then he piled the other nations up to himself and got them doing what he. It's about to be crazy out here, man. You people think, man, bro, the dream I had was crazy, man.
Yeah. And this place, which is called America, it's not by mistake that everybody's here. This is all by plan.
And if you ain't here, you here in the spirit.
Exactly. Revelation 18:3.
Revelation 18:3, it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of her wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Yeah, so even if you're not here in America per se, you are consumed by the wine that has been put out upon the earth. You are trying to live according to this way. I seen some videos of a place in India. It's called Bali, but they got a place called Bollywood, you know, which is their interpretation of what Hollywood is. So it's a bunch of East Indians who have their traditions. Like, you will see people on their like little video thing. You will see them walking around. Yeah, you will see them walking around inside they garments and stuff that they still wear. They still got the little whatever, however they dress, the traditions. And then you will see these hard out East Indian women with no clothes on, basically.
Let me see the two signs,
Which is
The
completely
Jesus
contrary.
Christ in your house.
Which is completely contrary to how they customs are, man.
Like this,
It's-
he gonna
yeah,
die.
exactly.
His money from the end. You ain't gonna be with no man really with that dude.
And we just seeing it right in front of us.
A slut out here trying to get saved, man.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you straight like that.
Yeah, kind. And we just watching all this stuff being played out here. All these people are inside this drink, this wine, and they're basically full.
So like, I know she ain't with me.
Exactly. Esau know it, but he don't care.
She loves my money.
Exactly. He know that. He really don't care because they not really about anything, man. These people are low life people.
I'm just
They
popping this shit.
they okay with this truly promoting this lifestyle and being about it. But all these other nations, y'all not accustomed to that. The so-called white man has always been low level. That's the way that's what he perpetuates upon the earth. Get that the Isaiah 29 and 16.
Yeah, I got it. Oh,
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah,
Let me finish this.
it don't matter. Yeah.
This is go ahead, brother. I gotta finish this too real quick. That'd be
Yeah,
It's Isaiah 29 and 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
See, they just turned everything upside down. People knew what right side up was at one point, and now everything upside down and people accepting it, you know?
You hear that? They from a whole nother country.
Exactly, and they here. They here. They here and they fit right in. You wouldn't know that unless they were speaking.
She got fangs in her mouth. She got little. You start looking at people. There's people walking around with fangs, man. Because that's what your canines basically is anyway. But you got some people, due to the amount of demons they have on them, to where they canines actually look like fangs. You will see it on people on the news telecasters and everything. Start looking at these people's teeth, man. And that's the Lord showing you what? It's real demons and beasts on this earth, man.
Yeah, kind.
See?
And that's exactly
This is-
slingshot. You know, these people, everything is upside down.
And then see, Jake so full of shit. You see I did this, right? And when I did this, he did this.
Then he want to acknowledge.
I wasn't even waving at him.
Exactly, exactly.
So, what did he do this to? He was waving.
Exactly.
He wasn't even looking this way.
At all.
You
At all.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I seen it. That y'all was weird.
He turned. When I did this, he ironically did this. But who around just waved at him? And he wasn't looking this way. Did you see him looking this way?
No, not at all.
I ain't see him looking
I thought
this
he was
way.
avoiding looking this way until he did that shit.
Well, my point is, Jake be paying
They
attention.
pay attention, exactly.
You see that?
He just was doing it out of the side of his eyes, trying to act
Yeah.
like this is not here.
And he thought I was waving at him.
Exactly. So he took that as that. And showed, basically, he showed himself to actually paying attention.
Yeah, but you didn't even look like you was looking this way.
At all, not at all.
Jake ass. These niggas about to die, man.
And that's their wickedness, man, because they see us here, man. This place is here, it's open. But it's cool because that might be a remembrance of him looking out the side of his eye, throwing up the deuces, you know? And that day, he gonna be looking. This is what he gonna remember.
He gonna be acting like he look.
Yeah, he gonna be acting like he's looking, but that's what it is. And again, that's part of this, everything being turned upside down. That's part of one having an evil eye towards your brother, if you will. He didn't want to truly acknowledge his brothers out here, you know, until he was not even acknowledged, but he supposed he was. But the so-called white man turned everything upside down, thus him driving around in that slingshot, you know, being in the mind of the so-called white man instead of, you know, actually being who he truly is. You got it?
Revelation 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. So whoever got that image could come to life, could live. Whoever's living that beast-like lifestyle, who's ever ready to go after the American dream, get rich or die trying, you can come to life. Basically become like a beast. It says that the image of the beast should both speak. You know, you will worship Caesar Borgia. You know, if you say this, Jesus, you stand for this, you put this in your home, that's beast-like, man. Look, that's the spirit. That's beast-like, man. He getting ready to go into slavery, man. That's a goddamn devil. That's a dog. You supposed to be a princess. That's an inferior man, man. Stand in front of the sun. Stand in the sun. I dare you. You damn devil. This is Revelation 13 and 15 continued. It says that the image of the beast shall both speak and cause that as many. Because look, we about to put our foot up you damn so-called white people ass, man. That's the time we getting ready to transition into. That's the pointing on the prophecies, man. Not sitting up here having my respect going up. My respect supposed to be going down for these Edomites, minute by minute, man. You about to see these people put out of power. So why you still sitting up here acting like it's cool for them to be walking around with your women, your sisters, etc., man? You know, basically having spoils of the war. That's what she a spoil. She ain't gonna say nothing, and she know. This little weak ass, man.
Yeah, she had to look sideways to smile. Look away from
Cause she know it's true. And that dog, it said the Lord said, shall not a dog move their tongue against Israel. You see, he ain't say nothing, man. You know? You think we so-called Africans if you want to. What Africans do what we do? Name one. We ain't Africans. You people thinking we goddamn Africans. We the Israelites. We the Jews. And you damn so-called white people, the Edomites. Y'all going into slavery. The Hebrew Edomites. That's your race. Esau. Look them up. Damn devil. And all you peasant peon jakes, you getting ready to get put to death if you don't repent. This is Revelation 15, 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See? So you can't live in this place without living the beast-like lifestyle.
Exactly.
To live the rich lifestyles, to live the beast lifestyle. Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. These women like beasts. You know, they like animals. Enchanted, mystical creatures. You go in a strip club, that's how them women in there. They like mystical beasts. Like, what the hell is this thing built like this? With this long, peak-ass hair. It look like fur. You see what I'm saying? It's built like a rhino. You like, what the fuck is, you know?
No,
They got claws.
Yeah, claws. That's how they bring them out too. They'd come out from the back. You know what I'm saying? And they basically present them in that way. You know, they come out like a sideshow or some shit. Yeah, like he said, with a nickname. This is the.
It's sugar.
Yeah, sugar.
It's pancakes. It's Nabisco crackers. This white girl. She ain't even white. She just super light skinned.
Yeah.
They call her white girl. She got she albino. She got the leprosy of the Lord, you know. They make that too.
Hi guys.
How you doing? You an Edomite. Y'all getting ready to go into slavery. That's what y'all did. Prepare for slavery. Now, whole point, they say all nations that forget God are gonna be turned into hell. Why? Because the so-called white man that's ruling the earth right now, he's pushing the image of the beast. Meaning a beast-like lifestyle. So when all hell break loose, all these people that's been following his way to get rich, to procure a lifestyle to themselves, is gonna result in when all hell break loose, these people being beast-like. You see, because you have to be beast-like to get that image. So you're gonna have these, oh, it's gonna run him over in that day, man. Look, that's his spirit. Look at his hoodie. You got the, you know, that's it, man. The elite bankers, the international bankers, is the so-called Illuminati, man. The Illuminati families, the 13 Illuminati families, the so-called enlightened ones, the light bearers. See, everybody in their imagination here, and it's just mystical, and you can just, you know, it's crazy, man.
And they raising up little bitty, you know,
Little
beasts that's influenced by this guy. It's gonna be worse. If things don't get better, they proceed. So all these young ones that's being brought up in this, they just gonna get worse and worse over time, as we see it.
I got some. 2 Ezra 5 and 8, it says, there shall be a confusion also in many places. Yeah, people bugged out of their mind right now. It says, and the fire shall be all sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women, unclean, filthy women, shall bring forth monsters.
GMO babies.
Yeah, like the elder apostle, what can I say? GMO babies, man. Genetically fake ass babies,
Yeah,
man.
they said hatchling. Them motherfuckers come out of a little egg.
Fake ass babies. These ain't children.
Not at all.
These little animals. I seen a little girl, she like a little demon. She was like this tall. She looked at me like with all the hate in the world. Like she ain't look at me like that, but I seen it in her.
It's inside her.
Yeah.
I
I'm like, damn.
seen the little one walk past. He had the little red hair looking like a damn, said shit called Chucky Doll. Good guy. Cause it's all confusion, man.
I'm laughing. All that white girl spirit shit. That's that white chick shit.
That's exactly what we talking about though. Y'all ain't even people. Y'all not even alive, man. Y'all sound like a beast. What's them animals that laugh? The hyenas? That sound like a pack of hyenas walking up, man. It's serious up here. But what can we expect out of you know, them being incubated in this place called America, man? They Israelite women, but they have no idea who they are.
I'm telling you, they gonna be. You think they spoiled now? I'm telling you, man. It's people that's just people gonna live out their wildest imaginations, and the Lord gonna let them.
Exactly.
Cause matter of fact, I'm gonna get that one last one. This is that's why the Lord. That's what you better be glad when we tell you the Lord, He control everything. Ain't no free will. Because if people had their will, we'd be dead and you would be dead. You know what I'm saying? You would do something you weren't supposed to do. This is Job 4 and what's like it? Job 11. Job 33. Yeah, y'all gonna pay what y'all did to the Native Americans. You damn so-called white people about to pay, man. Y'all getting ready to go into slavery. America's being discontinued. This is Job 33. And 16. It says, I'm gonna start at 15. I'm gonna start at 14. For the Most High speaketh once, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision in the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. Here's the point: that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. Exactly. So, because if people actually have free will, and the Lord wants sealing these people instructions, right, they'll be manifesting their own imaginations. You know? You got people that have dreams that's so real, they'll actually try to go act them out if they could.
Right.
There's a certain woman you see in your dream, you try to go find her. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a time coming where the Lord is gonna stop. He basically is gonna let these people, he gonna give them over to their own mind, and that's when all nations that forget God, see?
Right.
They gonna be out here just, you gonna see how many cannibals out here. I mean, actual so-called rapists. I mean, how many beasts and how beast-like it can be.
Exactly.
You know?
Just imagine if that time just flipped right now, you know? Because there's people out here, you know, who are of everything that was just named. People who want to eat somebody. People who are looking to just grab somebody.
You gonna
take them out.
You gonna see how much money was really nothing in that day. Because when people doing that, what happened to money?
Exactly.
What happened to a bag? What happened to cashing out? What happened to racks on racks on racks?
The richest profit not in the day of rap.
That shit, nobody even think about that in that time. So it don't matter now. Because that time is what's to come.
That's the reality of it. That's the reality, you know? It's not that we not living in reality right now. It's gonna be a time come where reality is like just purely in front of you. Where everything, people's actual intentions, their actual mindsets, but it's gonna be not on a secluded level. It's gonna be played out in full. That's pretty much what we're dealing with right now. Everything's not just completely showing forth as it really is. But the day of the Lord is gonna be complete light, man.
You got it. This is Psalm 62 and 10. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. if riches increase, set not your heart upon them. See, God has spoken once, yes, dude.
No, I'm talking about the dude next to him with the hat.
Yeah, that's dude that was with us with a demon. We got the devil horns. I seen his ass right there.
Yeah, kind of.
It says, God, the Most High, has spoken once. Twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto the Most High. Yahweh Shemel Shah. Exactly. So, yeah, we use the world, you know, we use the FRNs to keep a roof, keep, you know, food, you know, to endure to the end. But we have learned and realized that really it's nothing because it's written to go away. When all hell break loose, it really can't do nothing for you. Your house over your head can't do nothing for you. You know, the Lord can use it. Look at that. See that?
Oh,
kid. Big ass Edomite. That ain't even his daddy.
oh, none of that. Hell no.
These niggas bugged out, man. You know? So, man, trust not in oppression. Yeah. And become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. The Most High, Yahweh Shemel Shah, has spoken once. Twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto the Most High. Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. So those that have learned this, realize this, and don't forget it, man, that there's only one power, you know, and whatever you worship is you know, basically your God, man. Whatever you see profit in, and you know, that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you got people out here trusting in riches. That shit ain't gonna matter though when all hell break loose. You know, trusting in oppression. You having an Edomite because he got a little bit of money, it's not gonna be security for you. So you having an Edomite that's going into slavery, that's hated by the whole earth, going into what you was kind of saying, like it's just these certain things that haven't manifested yet. You having that man that is a vagabond and a fugitive in the earth, right? And that's getting ready to go into slavery and about to have the gods of the earth hands around his neck, right? You having that man is not now. It's not gonna be security for you. It ain't even security now.
It's not security. No.
That's trusting in oppression. Just because we in his captivity, that's trusting in oppression. He that leadeth into captivity, which we are in right now, shall go into captivity. So why would you trust in having a relationship with him?
Yeah.
That's stupid. You like trusting it.
Exactly.
They trust it. Like, well, I know I'm good. How?
That's going back to that what we read in Romans. You know, for this very same purpose, the Lord allowed these things. Basically, He allowed you to believe that. You know what I'm saying? But it was never so. Because for that very same purpose, the Lord rose up Pharaoh. He just did so just to destroy him. So Pharaoh looked like he had power, but he never did. The so-called white man looks like right now he has power, but he really truly doesn't. You being with him, however it is you attach to him, because everybody is attached to the so-called white man in some kind of way. Those of you who are in the world, whether you believe in his system, his government, using his money, you know, if you completely attached to him, married to him, so-called in the world, it's only for a time being, and it's only to prove the Lord's will, that he's not nothing, and that he's going to be eradicated. He won't even exist. These relationships right now, if that's a so-called white boy, that's not a real relationship, man. That's not your friend. That's not, he should be on a leash.
Yep.
If anything, he should be like cleaning y'all's shoes or something, but y'all ain't gonna see it, man.
Yep.
See, that's why the Lord told us to come. He said, what is it, Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart. We supposed to depart from this. You know, we got this guy, he reads the Bible, he knows the Bible, so-called, but he don't believe the truth of the Bible. He believes in Jesus. He believes in Jesus Christ, which we already debunked that. That's not a real person, man. He hasn't realized. He truly never learned. He don't know anything, man. And that's just the majority and the ultimate situation of what's being played out right now. So it's a beautiful thing to have the truth and actually know the true power. It's to believe in him.
That's it.
the so-called white man going into slavery. You got it? At 30.
Sirach 43 and 30. When you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as he can.
Because the Lord is worthy to be exalted. You know, he's the one who is worthy to be exalted. And the Lord's name is Yahweh. You got it?
For even yet will he says, for even yet will he far exceed.
Because he's going to actually far exceed. You believing in idols, you believing in false gods, there's no profit to it. But when you worship the true God, who is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he's going to actually far exceed. Everything that he says is going to happen will happen. You know? You got it?
When ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough.
Yeah, so just simply put, we have the true Lord, we have the true God. We know his name is Yahweh, the name of his son is Yahweh Shai, and you can't go too far as far as glorifying and exalting him, because he's actually going to come through. As we read with the Elijah situation with the 400 prophets versus him. The 400 prophets all came together, and ultimately they had no profit in them actually worshiping him. But in Elijah's case, the Lord came through. He further exceeded. He consumed everything because Elijah truly trusted in the Lord and believed in him. Got some?
Yeah, this is Psalms 9 and 17. It says, the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the power. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. That's the point. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever.
Yeah, kind. And the expectation of the poor being the true believers of the Israelite nation, those who have forsaken this world and have come back to learn this knowledge, you know? To learn it. What was the second one? To learn it.
Yeah, learn,
realize it, and not forget it. You know, that reward of that poor, you know, it's not gonna be forgetting of the Lord, because he's gonna come through.
Yeah, the expectation is what us being saved for doing this, labor of our Lord, man.
Kind.
You know? That's the expectation that we gonna be not forgotten in that time when all hell breaks loose. You know what I'm saying? And saved. So that's it, man. And also waiting for these devils to go in captivity. We're gonna have their whole family in goddamn slavery, man. You know? Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So the expectation of it's not gonna fail, man. Forever. So when all hell break loose, just expect for the Lord to remember you. You know? And you being how you need to be.
Said, yeah, kind. Yeah, we just gonna close out. So just Lord willing, all has been edified. Before we go close out, give all honor, glory. Give all honor, glory, and praise to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wa'akadashaka.
All right, Ababa Ball.
Kwame
Kwame Yashala.
Kwame Yashala.
Shalom.